Look at that, ain't that beautiful? Alright guys, this YouTube video is, I guess I'll make it about, whoops, I left my turn signal on. Okay, I should make this thing about like the top 5 things newbies do, and I'm definitely one of them. Nah, I'll probably end up doing a video honestly about like what I love the most about my 2019 Honda CBR 600 RR. And from the very first moment, the first day I got this bike, yes, I dropped it in the grass. Oh wow, big deal. Everybody makes a big deal. Oh, you did yet? And then blah blah blah, whatever. Shut up. Everybody starts out as a newbie. Everybody starts out as a beginner rider, okay? And everybody apparently drops their first bike. Eventually it's gonna happen. And it just fell over. It didn't like, I wasn't moving and all of a sudden, oh no, I low-sided. Anyway, but yeah, from the very first day I got my bike, man, I fell in love. Obviously, everybody should with their first vehicle or first bike or whatever. You should always remember your first love, right? Well, same here. I'm definitely in love with the bike. I love the fact that you can just hop on. Okay, it's not like a car for some reason. I have a car and I just totally neglect it. It's a nice car. It's a Honda. It's a nice car. It's a Honda Civic 2011, I think. Coupe. LX. It's not an EX. It's nothing special. But anyway, it's nice. I like it a lot. But I've totally neglected that baby, man, for this bike. This bike gets all the attention, all my loving. So, yeah, like I said, what I like most about the bike is the freedom to be able to get on and just go anywhere at any time. I know you could do the same thing in a car, but it's just not the same. You're in the open air, you know what I mean? You're in the environment. You can hear things that you wouldn't normally hear in your car. Even with the windows down, you wouldn't hear. You wouldn't smell certain things, you know, like you would in a car. A lot of times people just ride with their windows up now and the air conditioning on, so it filters out so much. You don't realize what you're missing when you're in the open road and you got the wind blowing through your hair. Well, if you got a helmet on, or if you're bald like me, that doesn't happen, but you get the point. So, anyway, it's just not the same. And just the fact that you can squeeze in places that cars can't, you know, and everybody looks at you. If you got a bike, man, people notice you. I don't care what kind of bike it is. People notice a motorcyclist. There's just something cool about a guy on 2 wheels, you know, just doing badass shit. There's just, I mean, look at Tron. Come on, man. What's Tron most famous for? Going into a computer simulation, but it's the games. Everybody remembers the light cycle about Tron. It's just something about a bike, 2 wheels, and a guy on doing badass shit that's just so badass. And that, to me, I love that about the 2019 Honda CBR, or really any bike in general. This is my first bike. I'm a new rider, so this is all new to me. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I love, the freedom, the badassery that comes with it, you know what I mean? And as well as the camaraderie. I also love that, man. Every time you pass a motorcyclist, you always get that wave, you know what I mean? Most of the time, every now and then you'll get like some snob or whatever who thinks he's better than you, who won't wave at all. So, and it's not because they can't, it's because they won't. They think they're better than you. At least around my area, I've ran into quite a few people, the same ones that just don't wave. So anyway, and so yeah, that's what I love. And also, I love the Honda CBR, especially, you know, that's the bike I chose, and it's crazy. I told the story once before in another video, but the audio wasn't really that great, so I might tell it again. If I end up posting that video, sorry guys, I'll just tell you the same story twice. But anyway, I was interested in buying a bike. Okay, so I was watching all kinds of YouTube videos, doing all the research I can to figure out what is the best starter bike. Everybody kept saying start on a 400 or a 300 or a 250. And they were right, honestly. You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, I started on the 600. But would I have rather started on a 300? Yes. Because I'm so afraid of dropping this bike. And there has been like a handful of times where I've almost had something bad happen. So, started on 300. So anyway, I was doing all kinds of research about that, right? So and at this time, COVID, man, the lockdown was just, you know, still in full effect. Nothing was open. So I had to wait a couple of weeks or whatever, 2 weeks. Didn't have my license or anything at the time yet. I'm just still new to this. So anyway, all of a sudden, I get the urge. I call up Pete Cycle at this time, and they are open, but to appointments only. Okay, and I didn't know that at the time, so I showed up at the shop early in the morning at like 8 a.m. in the morning, right after work. I just got finished working a 12-hour shift at night. And I show up and I'm like kind of sleeping in my car for 2 hours because they don't open until 10 a.m. So anyway, a guy comes up to my window, knocks on the window, asks what I want. I couldn't think of anything other than just Kawasaki Ninja 400. Just because that's just what came to mind. And he said if I didn't know what I wanted, I couldn't go in and look around. So I'm like, all right, I just had to think of something. Should I get in there? And I really did kind of was interested in the Kawasaki Ninja 400. I really was. But they didn't have the color I wanted in there at the time. They had the KRT version, the green one, which was really nice. But not the 400, the 650 actually is what I wanted, the 650. The 400 they had there, but I just didn't like it as much as the 650. So anyway, the bike was there. I'm like, all right, so they don't have black though, dang it. I'm like, shit. Well, all they have is the KRT version. So the guy is writing up the paperwork for me, man. He's doing the numbers. I signed some papers, and all of a sudden I look over, just curious to browse, because he said I couldn't browse, but I just couldn't help it, man. There were so many bikes in there, and I've never seen, like, really noticed them all before. You know, like, this is a whole new world to me. It's all interesting. I want to see. I want to look. I want to peek. You know what I mean? Take a look at the secret, you know, bikes that were in there. This treasure. And all of a sudden I saw this bike. Yeah, I saw all the freaking Suzuki Gixxers in there, the 600s and the 1000s and everything, and those were nice. And I even saw the Yamahas, and those were nice too. But I laid eyes on this black beauty right here. It's 2019 Honda CBR 600RR with this matte black with the red, and I knew right away this one was the one. I had to tell him, man, look, I'm sorry, dude. Hold up. I said, just hold up, him and the loan officer or whatever. Hold up. And I'm sorry, guys. I know I don't mean to really be a pain in the ass, but I want that bike right there. I'm sorry to change. Whoa. Everything's around the last minute here, but that's the bike, man. He's like, wait, you sure? He's like, you're absolutely sure. That's the one. That's the one. I was like, yep, that's the one, man. Okay. And I guess the reason why he was all right with it was because it cost more, so he was going to probably make more money off the commission or whatever. So anyway, but I got a damn good deal on this bike. It was like originally MSRP like around 12,000. It was like 11,900 and something. Well, anyway, I got the bike for $3,300 off of that price. Yeah, so I got a pretty good deal, I guess, for 2019. 0 miles. It wasn't even there. The one they had was a different one. I think he just wanted to leave that one on the showroom floor. But the one that I got was in the warehouse, and the guy dropped it off like that following weekend. And yeah, the rest is history, man. I've been putting miles on it ever since. At first, I was afraid to go anywhere on the bike. I wanted to go to a parking lot, but I had no way to get there. I had no truck to haul it with. I had nobody with a license that could ride a sports bike. I had uncles and everything. My dad even has a license. My mom does too. But they don't know how to ride a sports bike. Not a damn 600, I can tell you that. So I didn't trust them. And they didn't trust themselves either. I'm glad I didn't let them do it. So all I did was just, you know what, just chance it. I said, forget it. I'm going to go to a golf range place that we have by the house, and just practiced there in the parking lot and drove home every day. Did that ever since. So anyway, I love the fact that it's a beautiful bike. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like I said, I knew right away. The day I laid eyes on her, I knew this one was the bike that I wanted to get to be my first bike. Yeah. And she's got a badass sound to her, man. She really does. Even with the stock exhaust, it just sounds nice. I like it. It's not too loud, but it's also not super quiet either. So it really depends on what gear you're in, ultimately. But anyway, yeah, so it really looks nice. And since then, I've done a lot of mods to it and everything. I love that. I don't know, I guess the next thing I like about the bike is the fact that the night rides, which I have not done yet, but oh my gosh, I've been waiting to do it. I want to go on an awesome city like night ride, like on a weekend or something, you know, on a nice warm night, clear night, on like a Friday night or a Saturday night when everybody's out partying and shit. I just want to ride around the city and just, I don't know, just be a part of the crew there, because Baltimore City has a really badass biker life, you know what I mean? They got a lot of freaking people that just do crazy shit down there on bikes, whether they be a lot of dirt bikes or Can-Ams, dude, all kinds of shit, man, like trikes. And the bike culture in Baltimore is pretty big, so I want to get down there and just be around all that, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna do that one day. I'll take the GoPro with me. Now that I got the audio fixed, I can actually start uploading freaking videos. I was struggling for the longest time about trying to get the audio fixed with the GoPro, and it just was not working out for me. So anyway, now I've got the shit fixed, got it worked out, so I'm gonna be uploading some videos real soon. Yeah, so the night riding part, I also love the fact that you can get on a bike and you can outrun cops on the freeway. Woo! Yeah, boy! If you're a good rider. Oh yeah, it might not be worth it though if you're only doing a couple of miles over the speed limit, but I don't know, some people feel like it's worth it if they feel like they're capable enough of riding within, or whoa, running from the cops, and then good on them. I know I can't. Anyway, but yeah, actually there is the no chase policy in Baltimore. A no chase policy for police. They can't chase you in the city or whatever if you try to run. So I guess that's why a lot of people do. But I'm not gonna do that because something would happen. I'm not a good rider. I can tell you that right now. I'm not the best. I'm okay. I'm really distracted now. I'm just glad nothing's happened yet, because I can't talk and drive, man, very good at the same time. So I've got to keep this video short. But anyway, yeah, so if the fact that you can outrun cops, you know, you oh my god, another thing I love about this bike, besides that, obviously I was just joking about that part a little bit, but what I really love about this bike is the fact that when someone pulls up next to you, man, they really want to test you. Now I actually have a vehicle that, you know, is on par, if not more, than most cars. I mean, I could definitely beat them off the line now, and I'm so much faster than them. And I've had many vehicles test me. I had this Mustang like pull up on me at 100 miles an hour I was doing. And this guy just pulled up right up next to me, man, in the lane next to me, and wanted to test me. So I gunned it, man. I was gone at like 140 miles an hour. And then another time at like 130 miles an hour. So I was gone. Man, he was fast though. But anyway, that's what I love about this bike, is the racing capabilities. Man, this bike is fast. It can outrun a lot of cars, and they don't realize just how fast it is until you hit that throttle, boy. And it doesn't matter how fast you're going, you hit that throttle, you're gone. You could be doing 80 miles an hour, you still squeeze that throttle, boy. That's only half, you know what I mean, or a little over half of what she's got. So anyway, that, and another thing I would really love about this bike, I haven't learned how to do it yet, but I will, is wheelies. I've tried to do a couple, and I've successfully gotten the wheel off the ground a few times, but it's been really hard. I think I stretched out my chain doing that shit, so I had to like do my own chain adjustment because of it. So I'm not very good at it right now, and maybe a lot of it has to do with the suspension. is probably preventing me from doing wheelies or getting the wheelies up off the ground right now. But I've tried to do clutch ups and everything, and I can in first gear, but second gear is just super hard. It just doesn't have enough power there, or at least I'm not giving enough gas, and I'm afraid to. So that's another badass thing I love about this bike is wheelies, man. Oh, those power wheelies are just so freaking cool. So, yep, shout out to Max wrist, man. He just got hurt, man. That sucks. I'm definitely like, that really sucks. I've definitely been thinking about you guys, you and that guy, Two Wheel Jesus. I don't like that name though. It's a blasphemous name. For someone to have a name like that, it's just blasphemous. But I really do feel bad about the guy, man. He's in a coma, man. Damn, it sucks. It's scary. It makes you think, oh my gosh, anything. If it could happen to them, and they're good, right? Well, dude, Max or Risty is a good rider, but it happened to him, you know, because of someone else's negligence. Man, what could happen to me? The same thing, right? Or if not worse. So it really makes you just slow down out here and really be aware a little bit more and be thankful for every day too. So shout out to him and his channel. But yeah, when he does the wheelies though, well, I meant to get back to what I was going to say. When he does the power wheelies past like the Lambos and shit, yeah, there's just nothing any more badass than that, man. It really isn't. When he shows up, those snobby rich pricks, boy, with just something that costs a fraction of what they got, it's cool as shit. It really is. And the stunners, oh hell yeah, dude, they're badass too. I know it ain't safe, and they're squids, and they're dangerous, and you shouldn't idolize them and all this other bullshit. Well, I'm sorry, it's just cool as shit. I don't care what y'all think. I know you guys might be safe riders, and you're freaking all the gear all the time and all this other bullshit. But you know what? Some people they don't care. They like to live life on the edge. They like to live dangerously, so let them. You know what I mean? If they're of age